Okay everybody, we're going to start today using this Wild Rose stamp, and this one is called Bella Sleeping. And I'm just grabbing my Misty tool because when I took it off of the plastic that it comes on, I realized that I really should probably use the Misty tool because it's a brand new stamp and I want to be able to stamp it multiple times to make sure I get a nice crisp line. And so right now, you know, finding my placement, trying to figure out where I want it to go. And then once I have the spot laid down, I'm just going to move my magnet over because I think it holds it better over on the side. And I'm just inking it up with ink that isn't going to bleed with my alcohol markers. So if you have Memento, that is a good brand for using with your Copics or your Spectrum Noirs. So I stamped it once and I'm going to stamp it again. And some of the brands out there have hybrid inks, and the hybrid inks allow you to use your markers as well. Alright, so I'm trying on the little elephant's foot. I'm trying to get it to stamp with a darker line. So it was just one little spot. I just had to ink up and then I laid it back down just so I can make sure it was more crisp than it was. Alright, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use our spectrums, and I'm using the BGR1, BGR2, and BGR3. And what I like to do, especially on something like this, is put down my lightest color first. And what you're doing is basically getting your paper wet, so it'll allow the alcohol inks to blend in together. So once I laid down the lighter shade, then I went to the BGR2, and I'm going to where it's naturally highlighted on the stamp itself, any type of creases or anything that they've drawn in, and that's where you lay down your shade. And then you go back in and you add in the third one, which is your darkest shade, and then you work backwards. So once you lay down the darker one, then you lay down your medium color, and then you lay down over the whole thing the light shade again. And what that does is it blends out all the colors. Okay, so it's probably going to be easier to see on this portion of the trunk. So right now where the baby is laying, where Bella is laying, I'm adding my shadows because there would be a shadow there. And then along the top, and I put a little bit of shade on the bottom just to give it some, you know, definition, and you know, just to, I don't know why I really put it there, but I just felt like it needed to go there. So we're doing the same process, the medium, dark shade, medium, light, and then, and you can start with the dark first, you know, if you're more comfortable that way and you want to start with your darker shade and then work your way out and finish the card off that way, you can. I just like having that light shade down first, and then on the back here you can see, if you're not using a very heavyweight stock, you should be able to see your marker, your strokes, the color, everything, because that's how saturated really you want it, so that way the alcohol inks blend. Now instead of doing the 3 colors on the little baby elephant, I'm just going to use 2, and I did that on purpose. It's an on-purpose choice because I wanted the baby to be just slightly lighter than the mama trunk that we did. And we're just laying in the shadow, and then I go back over with the light to blend it all in. And then the little portion of the ear and the bottom foot, we're going to take a light pink and just color those in. And at first I thought maybe the pink might be too bright, so I'm putting a little bit of gray inside, just a little bit inside of the ear, try and tone it down just a little bit. And if you, when you get done and it starts to dry out, you know, you move on to something else and you don't like the way strokes look or how lines are showing up, then you just go over the entire thing again, always using the light so that way none of your definition gets lost. So for the background on this one, for the colors, I decided to grab almost like an array of pastels. So we have LV1, which is like a lavender. We're using the same pink that's inside the ear and that we put on the bottom of the foot. And that one is PP4. And then for the flowers, we're going to use also CT4 and OR1. Okay. And there are sections in here where it's some leaves, and for those we're going to use DG1. And that one that we're using right now, that's the OR1. That's the one I used for the center of all the flowers, so that it would be uniformed. But what we're doing with the colors is I'm trying to spread them out here and there, not have too many right next to each other. So I did a purple butterfly with a flower, I think in 2 spots, and then I did the pinks and then the yellow, and then I went back with this green to get the leaves. And that's when after I'm done with this lavender, at some point I decide I'm missing a color, like I need just a little bit of blue. So I grabbed the 1B1 or IB1, excuse me. It looks like a 1. IB1, and use that on some of the flowers as well, just to get a little pop of blue. And you could always put blue in the background for this. It would be not difficult. Well, I won't say difficult. It would be difficult, but it would be time consuming because you'd want to take your time to not have any of the sky in the background bleed into the flowers and stuff. But on this particular stamp, I really liked it without coloring the background. So I decided that I wanted to use a stamp that says, "Thanks for your support." Okay. In my initial thought, I thought it would be great. You know, the baby is laying on the mama's trunk. How great would it, you know, it just seems to go. Thanks for your support. Well, just like with anything you do, especially when it comes to crafting, sometimes ideas work and sometimes they don't. And for me, this one didn't work out the way I wanted it to because I don't like where it's placed. But at this point, I'm like, well, let me get it put together and then take a look at where I'm placing my sentiment at that point. So now I'm attaching our mat to the card, which is still the A2 size. We're just making it more of a horizontal, and I could have put it down on the bottom. I really wasn't feeling it. So in the same stamp that I got the "Thanks for your support," there was a thinner, longer version of that same sentiment. Basically it says, "Thanks for the support." So I decided to ink that up with the VersaFine black ink and stamp that in the bottom right hand side, and the card is done. I normally would say, you know, bling it up, put sequins. Oh, I did fix that part right there because I didn't like how it curved in. So I just wanted to kind of run my marker over it one more time, and that'd be it. But if you want to, if you get this stamp and you decide you want to do it, you know, you could add sequins, you can add bling. It's up to you. But I'm leaving it nice and simple. And this is a close-up of our card for today. It was really a lot of fun. And if you've thought about getting these stamps, I definitely suggest them to you because they are so much fun and they're so cute. I mean, isn't that adorable? Alright. Well, make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button, and I will talk to you later.